welcome to Project Pack number 29. This is day 3. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I have the great good fortune to come right after Rick and work off of his beautiful tangling that he just did. So we're going to work with I'm working with an 08, but you could use the 03 or whatever, but I think the 08 is a good fix.
And just take a moment to appreciate this time and get into the focus of the beauty that we're going to create and how special that is.
So we're trying to go from tangle to tangle and have some sort of a connection. So I'm going to use that spot, those in between places that Rick left open for me, and I'm going to aura that in that direction and continue it to create a stem for these beautiful poke root. But these poke roots are going to be kind of big. They're going to be more like poke cherries.
Well, we're working on a big piece of paper.
Right. So working with an 08 and these beautiful, and I even...
Notice how she's like changing the pressure on the pen. I love that.
I like adding that little detail there because the detail just adds, so you can see how big these cherries are, like the end of my thumb.
Poke cherry.
Poke cherry. So we're going to go here, and you can see that these go all different kinds of directions. And then I'm going to aura that line. Now it's going to flare out at the end. Watch that. And it's connected. And then we have that little V shape that I like to add. But the end of that V shape is very light. Like you're almost picking up the pen. So they do have a very cherry-like shape too. You can see that. I kind of like doing these.
And they can be long stem or medium stem. And there's a theme here that it's sort of intentional or maybe not intentional, but just intuitive, where the gap of the auras are somewhat fairly similar and consistent, resonate throughout this whole composition.
That's true. They kind of complement, See that little, it gets bigger. It makes a difference. It has this shape like it's going into the cherry or the poke root.
So each one of these sides will get a berry, and each one of them, the more there are, you always draw behind whatever's there. So we end up drawing behind a few things.
I like to give you some ideas of where these cherries can go. They can go above, beyond, and it just, it's like they're out playing with each other, right? And you can see how my lines sort of touch other lines just for strength of composition. Like they're not just hanging out there willy-nilly. I do a lot of willy-nilly.
You do?
Yeah. I really enjoyed doing these. I don't know that I've ever done them this big on a composition, which is really neat.
Well, it's the ability to adapt to, the area. And I think it's like if you have a small tile, it's like putting a bonsai tree on a small piece of paper. So maybe this is actually the actual size of these.
That's true. I'm glad we're giving our tanglers a chance to work a little bigger than usual. It's kind of a great exercise.
And they just come in from all different places.
Yeah.
Just,
and drawing behind.
yeah.
And there, you can almost feel them bobbing along and just such having a good time. And they're very gracefully filling up those spaces
I think there's
between the betweed.
always room for one more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be fun to see how you put yours in this space, because the idea is not to just, mimic what Maria did or I did or anybody did, but taking that whole concept and seeing where your pen takes your, how yours grow on your tile.
So that one disappeared completely.
Yeah. It's way off there.
Coming off the edge. I don't even remember doing that. That's
Or
cool.
maybe it just curved back on. It's like, where am I going? I got to get back on the page here.
Just imagine all these things, looking for sunshine. That's what they want, right? Oh,
I got one more here.
One more.
Behind. Whoa. That one's going for the sun.
Take your time. Focus.
That little cap there.
It's almost like a little S shape or a little bouncy shape as opposed to a straight line.
So I think we've got them all. That's a great...
Yeah. So I picked up my handy-dandy Zentangle pencil, and I'm putting not so much a smiley face, we're putting a little curved square where I think that the sun is shining on these beautiful red berries, and picture them red, even though we're not going to make them red,
right.
Unless you really want to, you can. And that's going to be our highlight. But watch closely. I'm putting graphite on the whole cherry except for the edges. I'm leaving a little bit of white. This is a little bit different, a little more into the shading aspect. I'm leaving like a low light all the way around, and you'll see how that's going to add to the curve when we start using the tortillon.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, but it really, when you see it all done, it's pretty awesome. And this is really great paper, and everybody has a different, perhaps, texture to their paper, and think of it as just being part of the composition.
I'm adding love as I go along, because this is just such a fun thing to shade. And once they're all there, you can almost feel the red of the cherries that have enhanced by this shading. They have so much life.
And I love how the contrast with the stem is establishing itself. So she's essentially auraing the inside.
Yeah. And then leaving that little window pane thing, that curvy square.
I can just see them on our kitchen table there.
Yeah.
And inviting the graphite into the paper. And as I always point out, holding the tortillon at a fairly low angle, as well as the pencil.
So you can use this shading technique on any orb or oval or what, trying, going a little bit beyond the normal shading, and you almost don't see that highlight around the edge, but it gives it a more robust look. So some of the ones that are in back and behind, I haven't put the highlight on.
Yeah,
the little square, because it has to have sun.
They can't see the window.
They can't see the sun.
But I like the different textures and colors that are coming, the shades of the range of midtones and white space. And
so I'm going in with my pencil and darkening the middle, almost like putting another layer darker, using a heavy hand.
So the takeaway from that is you can always add more graphite. So we've got the berry part. So now let's work on the stem part here.
I'm just giving it a little bit of shade on the right hand side, leaving the highlight with the same highlight as the berry.
And where it goes over and under, just giving a little bit touch there. And you can do most of them. You don't have to do every single one, but because the eye fills in so much, just giving that hint of this is part of the pattern. So it's this mix of light source and pattern and whimsy.
What a nice growth from the tangle that Molly did than the tangle that you did.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Tangle to tangle.
Nice combination of styles, too.
And they're really different.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tangling with us.
Yeah.
We had a great time. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm excited for the next step and excited to see what you do. Do take interim pictures as you're going along. I think that'll be neat to memorialize each step. So see you tomorrow.
See you later. Bye.
Bye now.